Welcome and thank you for joining us here today at 1070 Beer Reviews, where we take less time reviewing to give you more time drinking. Today we're putting two stouts head to head in this 1070 Beer Review. You have all heard of Guinness and their popular beer, the Guinness Draught. But have you heard of Murphy's Irish Stout, which is also brewed in Ireland? And which one is better? Let's find out today here from the 1070 Review perspective, and we're going to share our thoughts with you. This draft is described as a perfect balance of bitter and sweet with malt and roasty characters, coming in at 4.2% ABV. And then we have Murphy's Irish Stout, described as silky smooth with toffee, coffee undertones, and almost no bitterness, irresistibly creamy at 4% ABV. Guinness is brewed here in Dublin at the St. James Gate Brewery and has been brewing this beer since 1959. And if we jump over to Cork, Ireland, which is about 155 miles south of Dublin, we can see the brewery where Murphy's Irish Stout is brewed at the Murphy's Brewery, owned by Heineken Ireland. We already see they are described differently, so we have to take that into consideration, that although these beers are in competition within the same beer style, they are made to have different characteristics as we describe. Guinness points out the bitterness, and Murphy's Irish Stout claims almost no bitterness. Let's dive in to tasting these beers, and like always, pour your beer in a glass. We are going to start with Guinness Draught. It looks like a dark brown to black, but Guinness provides information that it's actually a dark ruby red color. Here is Guinness under some light to try and show that ruby color. The head of the beer is light tan and creamy from the nitro widget that they add to the can. The aroma. We get a roasted barley for their aromatics, which can be best described as coffee and chocolate. The aroma is fairly light overall. The taste. The beer is very smooth and does have an element of bitterness to it. For those of you who haven't tried Guinness Draught, it's a type of bitterness similar to dark chocolate. The bittering is balanced, but the sweetness has a light coffee-like flavor, which is well blended with the dark chocolate taste. The mouthfeel. It feels heavy and thick, and it has a lower level of carbonation than other styles of beer. The aftertaste. The aftertaste has a slight lingering bitterness, but it is pleasant and smooth and has a very fresh quality to it. Guinness Draught is a great beer, especially in its style as an Irish stout. It is also a beer that we see being very popular and well appreciated by craft beer enthusiasts throughout the world. And for those who aren't big into beers and are looking for something to taste that is not overly complex but has great flavor that are familiar, such as coffee and chocolate, and a color that correlates to its taste, give Guinness Draught a try. Next we have the Irish Stout from Murphy's Brewery. It looks similar to a Guinness Draught. After the pour, has a widget in it helping create that draft-like feel and a creamy head. It has a dark color that appears black. Here it is under a light, just as we did with the Guinness Draught, and it remains as a dark brown to black color. The aroma. The aroma can be described best as coffee and dark chocolate. The aroma is fairly light overall, just like Guinness Draught. The beer does taste different than Guinness Draught. It is well described through their website with toffee and coffee-like flavors. It does taste sweet and have a lower level of bitterness, however, still very detectable. The taste when compared to Guinness has more of a dark chocolate flavor without the heavier bitterness. The mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is still smooth and flat through the level of carbonation, however this is intentional for this style of beer. The aftertaste. There's a level of sweetness and minor aspects of bitterness similar to dark chocolate. As this is a review for both beers in the same style, these are both good beers, and although in the same style have intentional differences created by their brilliant brewers. Different water sources are used, and similar but different brewing methods are used to create these stouts. We have an opinion about which one is better, but it's important to understand that these beers are well described and marketed to their actual aromatics and flavor as we went over. To others, one may be preferred over the other, and all positions are respected. We here at 1070 Beer Reviews would recommend trying both side by side and appreciate the differences and understand the work that is put into making these beers. We are excited that we had the chance to experience both of these Irish beers. Guinness takes the spotlight and has an extraordinary clean, fresh, and perfect balance in all characteristics of beer. Murphy's Irish Stout does stand on its own. However, Guinness promotes a creamier mouthfeel from start to finish, whereas Murphy's is different with a creamy in the beginning and ending in a sweet and slight bitterness. Flavor seemed a bit more prominent in Guinness when compared to Murphy's. Both are fresh, clean Irish stouts that are bound to satisfy millions across the world. Try Guinness and Murphy's Irish Stout side by side and let us know your perspective. Please hit that like and subscribe button to keep yourself up to date with all of our beer reviews and have a glimpse of our perspective. We look forward to hearing about yours.